It's really easy to run out of room on your PS5. It's also really easy to add more space. I'm going to show you how to expand your storage on the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5, it's a great modern game console, even if it's still kind of impossible to find in stores. And once you do, there's another big problem you can run into very quickly. To get your PS5, you take it out of the box, set it up, you're going to find that you've got less than 700 gigs of free space to actually store games in. And you know what? A lot of games, especially new games, they can be 40 gigs, 80 gigs, 100 gigs. That can eat up that space very quickly. That's not a PlayStation only problem. Microsoft games like Flight Simulator can eat up even more room than that. Now what that usually means is that to add new games, you have to delete other games from your PlayStation 5 hard drive. And then if you want to play those old games again, you got to re-download them. That takes up a lot of time, eats up a lot of bandwidth, not a great solution. In previous game consoles, the easy answer was just to get an external hard drive and plug it in. You can still do that with the PlayStation 5, but there are a bunch of weird rules and exceptions. Once you get used to them, it's actually a pretty good system, but it's not going to do everything you want it to do. Your first step is go out and get a little SSD drive. I just went on Amazon and I got a Samsung 500 gig drive for like 80 bucks. Sony says that you have to have an external drive that is at least 250 gigs. It can support up to 8 terabytes, not that you're really going to have to worry about that, and then it's got to be USB 3.0 or higher. That means it's going to be fast enough to actually transfer and play games from it. The setup, it's dead simple. You plug in your drive, I use the USB-C port in the back, then you go to Settings, Storage, Extended USB Storage, and then you can format the drive. That'll erase anything that's on there, but if it's a fresh out of the box drive, shouldn't be a problem, and it just takes a couple of minutes. One of the first things you'll see once you format the drive is an option to always install PS4 games to the external drive. You want to make sure that checkbox is turned on because that's really the main thing that external drive is useful for. That's because there's kind of a catch. You can't play PlayStation 5 games from your external drive, they'll only play from the internal drive. Now, originally, when the PlayStation 5 first came out, you could only store PS4 games on the external drive. You could play them from there, but PS5 games only lived on that internal drive, which again, is not that gigantic. In the spring, there was an update that at least took us part of the way there. Now you can download PlayStation 5 games to your PS5, then you can transfer them, if you're not going to use them for a while, onto the external drive. But in order to play them, then you have to transfer them back. I find it's much more practical to just keep your PS4 games, Ghost of Tsushima, Avengers, Final Fantasy, whatever it is that maybe you're still playing, and keep those on the external SSD and keep your PS5 only games on the internal hard drive. Ironically, there's an extra M.2 slot inside the PS5, and if you take the cover off you can find it, but Sony has not turned it on yet. It would be great if at some point in the future you could just get an off-the-shelf little internal M.2 drive, super fast, plug it in, double, triple your storage. I don't know if that's going to happen. Sony says they're going to do something with that drive slot in the near future. Frankly, it's probably more likely to be a proprietary drive, but still the option to add a nice big internal storage drive is very tempting. I hope it doesn't end up being a proprietary drive that's too expensive. So that's how you can add a ton of extra storage space to your PlayStation 5 with a few caveats. That said, being able to keep more games around so you can get to them more easily, that seems like a plus to me. There are a lot of other great how-to-do-it-all tips for your PlayStation 5. You should check out the one on how to make your PS5 look great on your TV with a couple of settings tweaks. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe for more videos on how to do it all.